What are we going to do?
Well, in what regards?
To your occupation. Are you recording anything? Are you recording anything?
Why is it not allowed in here?
I just would like to know.
Oh, right, yeah, I am recording just so I've got reference.
Okay. So, why don't you sit around there?
Yeah, right. I would have told you, but I wasn't sure if you was going to say I weren't allowed to. That's why I didn't want to say.
What, about recording?
Yeah.
I don't mind, I'm not going to...
No, that's all right, that's fine.
I'm not going to be saying anything that's...
It was just in case you asked me to turn it off, that's why. I won't try and not deceive you for any other reason than that.
No, that's fine. You understand, so our client owns that land and the surrounding farmland. They've got about 250 acres of land, including woodland, in which you're in. They rent all of that land to the farmer. The farmer farms it. And we've got plans in the future for what we're going to do with the land. As you may or may not know, there's residential development proposed close by on Rushbrook Lane, and there is an expectation and a hope that there will be residential development on our client's land. Regardless of that anyway, what they can't accept is that people are living on the land. It contravenes planning use. There's continuous concern about things like what happens if you hurt yourself whilst you're on their land, you fall out of the tree, you bleed to death.
Well, if there's anything, I'll sign anything to say they're not responsible for me in any way.
Well, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Well, maybe not, but this world doesn't work the way it's going, you know. Your plans for the future, you'll be lucky if the world is still sustainable at that, in that year.
Maybe, but...
And you know, sort of the continued development of warehouses, you know, the Suffolk Parks that you've been working on, and, you know, I had a little look on your website when you put up the first notice, and basically, yeah, it's just, don't know, got a military industrial complex vibe about the whole thing straight from the get-go, but it's like, you know, it's like, that is killing the planet, all of that, what you're developing there. I see it all day, every day. It's just no end of waste of perfectly good resources, you know, it's just manufactured to be discarded.
We're all guilty of killing.
One second, like, because I'll take this moment in time in this universe, because ultimately I'll probably be kicked out of my cabin, which I built with my bare hands from rubbish.
And I think you've done very well.
Yeah, and you know, and I've got no trainings or anything, so it might be a bodge job, but point being,
a lot of time and effort into it, and I admire the amount of time and effort.
To say that we're all contributing to the destruction of the planet, when there's one person that owns more resources than he could use in 10,000 lifetimes, and then because he has so much, he doesn't mind if his business discards excess, or whatever can't be sold is just wasted, or any leftovers is just, rather than, you know, shared between the people that done the groundwork, you know, the farmer who worked that land that is owned by the landowner, rents it, you say, Well, in my mind, you know, why is he, you know, he's working that land, it's his, in my mind, and I don't care about the laws that are written by whoever people, they're just people like me, that have written on a bit of paper, but in my eyes, you know, how can you be in possession of a certain amount of land if you don't even go on it?
Well, it's a bit like your phone, for instance. I mean, if you happen to walk away and left it here, would it still be your phone?
Well, if you left it out and about, I'd pick it up and I'd use it. I would. That's how I get most of my things.
Okay, so all your items that are...
Every single bit of it, nearly, apart from my solar panels and that.
Yeah, but everything in that...
It's found.
Is it yours?
It's not anyone's when I find it. I don't take it from people's property,
but
I take it from bins on the street.
Are you saying that what you've constructed within the wood...
Yeah, but what constructed it is because I habitat it. What's the word? Basically, I inhabit it.
So you're
So it's
saying,
in use. I use it.
so you're
I'm
saying
there.
that, are they yours?
Yeah, of course. That's all my property. That's my home.
So it is yours.
That's my home. Yeah, and like it's like, regardless of whose land it is, that's now my house, my home. And like basically, I have rights to that in my eyes. Under Declaration of Human Rights. By the United Nations, which they proclaimed, and Article 1 is meant to be we're meant to treat each other. To me, I thought it was a bit of a weird one to have in there, but it's like to say that we should all treat each other in the sense of brotherhood. Yeah, that's meant to, apparently that's a right. Yeah, that's what I don't really get it, but it's like, so basically in every instance that's the our right is to be treated in the sense of brotherhood, but that will never happen. But so it should be working to, and if it's a build residential area, why can't I just have that little patch there and you can build around me?
Yeah. Because the world ain't like that, Travis.
Okay, but then I'm homeless and I'm going to need housing then, aren't I?
Yeah, and the local authority have got housing to offer you.
In what sense?
In the sense that the local authority, and I've spoken to the lady at the local authority, and as you know they've tried to talk to you, they have got accommodation for you.
In what sense?
You will have to expand on your statement because I don't understand what.
Well, if it's a hostel, I'm not free.
It's not a hostel.
What is it then? Flat or something?
Yeah, she said that they have accommodation for you. It's not a hostel. Yeah, have you not?
Yeah, but I went to them about all this and they didn't want to know. They didn't want to help me at all, and that was with my support worker. That was when I was in a really bad way, really suicidal, But how come now there's a big corporation or entity that is like has a lot of wealth, all of a sudden they're willing to bend over backwards. That's not right, mate.
Well, they're very keen to help you. Remember,
but it's too late now. I've built my own home. I'm quite content and happy where I am. There's a that's a sanctuary to me. I make offerings and pray for world peace there. As often as I can find the time. That's how they ground to me now. That's my sanctuary because I'm not wanted by this society. They took my kids away, which is violation of my human rights there because they weren't abused or neglected.
Which kids?
Well, basically, that's Lily and Willow. One lives in Italy and the other one's in foster care.
You've got children?
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to see them, but that's not the point anyway. Basically, the point is, the system has fucked me over. Sorry for swearing, but it has. It's chewed me up and spat me out. They don't want to house me. They're quick to provide social care, which is meant to be people's rights, to my children, when they didn't need it. Because they hadn't even been born when they started the proceedings. So how, when it comes to my social welfare, they couldn't really care about my housing. But now I've built my own, and now I'm quite content and happy. All of a sudden they want to help me.
Yeah.
But that's just to help you. It's not to help me.
Well.
So that makes me want to stay now.
Well.
I'd love to have a flat, but at the same time though, I feel like no, because I'm just giving away. I feel that mine hands, it's mine.
So they have got somewhere for you to go.
Yeah, but then how do I? There's no guarantee in life.
They've got somewhere for you to go. Would you like to take up that opportunity?
I would, but at the same time, though, I don't want to leave what I've been working on.
Do you want us to help you move out of the wood? Because we can help you with a bit of transport or whatever needs to be to help you move out.
Well, it's something I'm going to have to think about because a part of me, I'd love the security of a flat. But at the same time, my sanity, I don't do well with mixing with humans. I don't. And to be honest, it's like, I've been out there since I was contacting my firstborn, which is with another woman who I had to fight in court to have access to, and I used to have her every weekend, and life was alright then. But then I lost access to her when the mother breached the court order. I took her to court, made an application for an enforcement order, which basically, long story short, since then, when I've been suicidal, I was every day at that point, and then I started working out in the woods on these little projects. The same thing keep me sane.
Yeah,
I've been out there ever since.
And it's very nice, and you've made you've spent a lot of time and energy.
All my time and energy.
Yeah, and it is a shame that
I don't have a van. You got to remember things like this.
And it's a shame that it's all that energy's directed at something that doesn't have any longevity. Won't be there for too long.
Well, that makes me want to just see it out in the cabin.
Yeah, but
realistically, yeah. Realistically, could any of your tradesmen that are going to be building your facilities and Deaf Council, whatever they're going to be used for one day, these warehouses, gas chamber, I don't know. What's true?
Death camps for whom?
I don't know. People like me. The people that don't make the cut. I don't know. The sheep that don't follow the rest of the herd.
Just because you live in a wood doesn't make you unique. It doesn't.
No, I know. I'm not on about just me. I'm on about everyone that's basically, they've done it throughout history, all around the world. America's done it to the Japanese.
Our world history is not great.
No. But they used buildings in Toronto in 2010. They used Warner Brothers Studios as temporary holding cells. So the idea, what I'm suggesting, isn't so laughable because they've done it in the past quite recently.
I didn't say it's laughable. I just wanted to know who you thought it was. So what I was saying is that our history of looking after people is very poor.
I'm sure it is.
You do have somebody who wants to look after you in the form of the local authority.
But in my eyes, that's not looking after me.
Well,
that's me contributing to trying to live a normal life, which is basically sealing our fate as a species to go extinct. Okay. There's some solace for me in that solitude in the woods because I know I've made a home and I've not used no petrol to do it.
Do you know there are lots and lots of people that would love to live in a wood?
Yeah, but would they haul their building materials around on a bicycle?
A wood that they haven't had to pay for, with materials that they've got. But lots of people would like to do that.
I don't think they would. Well, take away their van, and I don't think they would, mate. I'd like to see them do what I do, mate. I really would like to see it, mate.
I think you're. I mean, in the
for
summer,
free. I'm not even getting paid. I work all day, all night. I work 3-4 in the morning. And I don't get paid moving my materials and building my home.
Wouldn't it be better to put that sort of energy into something where you are being paid?
Why? What's something miserable?
Well, because you were the one that was complaining that you weren't being paid.
Well, no. I'm just saying I don't think people would do what I do and love it because they people moan about doing it when they're getting paid. I'm doing it for free and I love it. I enjoy it. I do it because to me, I am living off the land. That's foraging to me when I go looking in bins. Because there's no woodland left. So I thought these little patches of woodland were meant to be little reserves, I thought, in between the farmer's field. Because when I look on Google Earth and I look at the state of the desolated landscapes, it's like a checkered wasteland, and there's like these little patches of woodlands are like...
But they're not reserves for people to live.
No, but they're not... No, but they're not... Well, they're reserves, you're saying then. So they are reserves.
I'm not saying they're reserves at all. I'm not.
Not if someone's
what I
paying
am
enough.
saying is they are not bases. Private property, which this is private property, is not available for people just to simply set up camp.
Well, under
No, there isn't.
Well, no. One second.
Okay.
Like, it obviously wasn't in use for me to have been there that long to have built it without anyone telling me to move on.
It was in use.
Well, then how come I wasn't told that I couldn't be there?
It was in use as a woodland.
Okay, so why wasn't I told I couldn't do what I was doing?
You were told as soon as I was made aware that you were there.
No, you left a notice, but that was after I'd already built a tree house.
Yeah.
And a cabin.
Yeah. It's very difficult to see a tree house when there's so much.
No, but my point is the land wasn't in use, and I'd managed to build a home there, and give it another few more years. I could have applied for ownership, and even though it is owned by someone else, if a judge was actually acting, with a bit of like
compassion.
Not doing back, door deals with people getting paid off to sell out all the common land. But little deals that you all do. I see through all your games, and I don't care. I know I'm a dead person walking. We all are, though. That's the truth that I've got to bring to you. But me and my meagre peasant body, my meagre little shack in the middle of this private owned land is holding the truth.
You're no more meager than anybody else.
No, I hold something more valuable than all your properties added up together. It's the truth, mate. And you all need to accept it, because this wealth ain't going to get you nowhere.
We're all equal.
Yeah.
But the wood does have a use. It's the use as a wood. And
right.
if you're in it, living in it, it's no longer a wood.
Yes, it is. How isn't it?
Because you're in it.
Yeah, but I manage the woodland. I have trees in my living room. The cabin is one room, and I have 2 trees. There's 6 posts, and 4 of them are trees that are still alive. They're living.
It can't be a woodland which is untouched by people living in it, and still be the same if you're living in it.
That goes for whatever bit of land. Well, they didn't want to give me a home, and then so what? I meant to just be in a sleeping bag in the street.
What are we going to do?
So I built my own.
What are we going to
have to think about your deal.
What are we going to do, Travis? Because what's going to happen is that one day you're going to go back there and you're going to find the trees cut down and the stuff is all cleared away and there's a big...
Well, I'd seek redress for my property.
So you have got property there. I thought it was...
It's all property. I said my belongings are my property. I said my home that's my home, my house, my residence, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Well,
that's what obviously.
I think it's a camp rather than a dwelling.
Just because I'm not there when you've been there doesn't mean I'm not always there.
Well, it suggests that you're not always there.
Well, I am, because how can it have been built?
You're here at the moment.
Yeah, so you don't leave your home. Well, what? So your home is not yours no more because you're not in it. That's a silly argument. See, look, we're meant to be talking rationally and with logic and reason,
I'm trying to help you.
Okay, look, no, you're trying to...
Well, I want to help my client first and foremost.
Obviously, I'm not a fool, and
and I hope I'm not coming across as treating you as one.
Well, no, and yeah. Just tell me straight. You want me gone, and you want to do it in a way that's easiest, and but easiest for your client and for me.
Yes.
But really, mostly, you just want me gone. You can give a fuck about me, really, is the reality of it. You don't need... You can lie to me or pull anything. That's the truth.
No, I don't.
But but it's like...
I have as much social conscience as the next person.
But I've had everything taken from me in life.
I think there are places for you to go. The local authority has said that they've got somewhere for you to go.
That's all I have is that place in the woods, though.
Well, no, you've got this... You're not going to be living there forever.
I don't see us living long at all, mate. I just want to spend some time connecting with Mother Earth before we're all gone. Show her that some of us did actually care about appreciating her majestic beauty. That's the truly majestic. A little group, they don't know what majesty is.
Yeah, I appreciate it's all very lovely.
No, this is reality, because the universe is, look up in the sky, yeah? Mm. Look at space. It's already full of junk. They're having to start designing plans. No, because you can't just shrug that off as like, okay, that subject's irrelevant. No, it's not. It's very relevant. It's extremely relevant. Because you're building large, developments on over large areas of land, which is really
anything.
Well, okay, no, but you're an advocate for this entity, which is, and you're trying to move on. Someone who's just trying to, live without, I'm saving the council money by not being housed by them. They can give that house to someone who's and got a home, someone who's in a sleeping bag in the alleyway. But they wouldn't care to give it to them. They'd rather give it to me.
But in the meantime, you're on our client's land, and they don't want you there.
I know, but unfortunately, they've not moved me on at the right time. I've built a home now. That's my home. He should have. I spoke to the farmer, and the farmer. Yeah, okay. I don't want to get him in any trouble because I could tell he weren't happy about me being there. At the same time, he had a bit of compassion and was like, "Look, just don't interfere with." But I could tell, but he was trying to say basically I couldn't be there. But by the end of it, he was sort of like, "Well, as long as you're not interfering with my crops and you're not throwing parties, he's like, it's all right." So basically,
Janice,
I basically had permission at that point.
What are we going to do?
And what we're going to do, I don't know exactly.
Because we don't accept it's a dwelling. We think it's just a camp.
Well, that's just irrelevant.
And
That's not the facts.
well, there's more than one opinion, and we will take action if we have to.
Obviously, I know that. I know that's what it's leading to.
And it inevitably, what it will lead to is you're off the land, and your things that you've constructed on that site will be taken down. And that's just the inevitable what will happen. And I would like to make it as easy for my client and for you as possible, and I'd like us to agree what we're going to do.
I'd be willing to go
that.
into a flat when it gets to D-Day, shall we call it, yeah? But you're not developing there just yet, are you?
We're going to move you on as soon as possible.
Well, you know, I'll just stay there and on the inside. If I, you know, I'd rather long it out as long as possible. You know, I don't think, you know, everything I've ever worked on that's mattered to me has been taken away by, you know, entities. You know.
Maybe because you've been putting your effort into the wrong place.
Well, no, because this has been afterwards. I did end up going back to my ex-girlfriends, and I quit drugs when I was going through court for my daughter Lily. And I've done everything they asked. The house was always clean. So I done what I asked. So that's not. So your argument there is.
Well, don't blame the landowner. And
I'm not blaming the landowner. I'm not.
That you've chosen.
That's where I've ended up.
Yeah. But don't blame him.
That's because I have no home though. My ex-girlfriend's not my home.
Yeah, but don't blame him for your misfortunes.
Him. You know, I don't blame him.
But okay, but he will take action.
I blame him for his greed.
They will. I
blame him for his greed.
Well, we're all a bit greedy.
Well, I don't want that. I just want my little patch and I'll be happy.
Yeah, but you want something that somebody else has got.
See, look, now you're talking without using reason and logic.
Well.
No.
You've seen something. You've seen something you quite like, and you think, I'll have that. I'll have that bit.
Is that really how you think?
Well,
is it really? Or do you not think? Do you think right? So you've got to go home tonight, but you've not got one. Where'd you go? You tell me right now.
Okay. Well, why?
Theoretically. Okay, let's just speak this for a second. You've gone to the council with a support worker, and they said they can't house you. And basically, you're on your own. What do you do now? What would you do? No, I want you know. Think about it for a second. You know, entertain me.
I don't need to entertain you or think about it because I don't.
You're not in that position.
No, I'm not.
No, so then you are being, you know, apathetic towards basically.
I have lots of faults.
Yeah.
I have lots of faults.
But if you was in that position,
it doesn't matter, does it?
Well, then, no, one second. Well, then you can't sit here and tell me what I am doing because you've not put yourself in that position to know what options. So there, what options?
I'm not commenting on your state of mind. I'm commenting on your actions.
Yeah, my actions are.
So
I'm
you've
homeless.
seen this bit of woodland,
and I thought, basically, I build a home.
Being there,
no.
And I'll have.
You've not quite. Sorry, I feel like you're not. Got a high IQ, maybe you got like, you know, not very good cognitive skills, I don't know.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, but it's like, can you not just understand for a second, you've got nowhere to go, well, you're going to just sit in the street in a sleeping bag. That's not a life I'm willing to live, sorry, but no thank you, mate. I'm not doing it. I'm quite happy sitting in the woods under fire. So if I have to pick between sitting in a cubbyhole in a sleeping bag, yeah, or sitting in the woods around a fire, that's what I'll do. And I've been moved on from the nature reserve when me and my mum and my brother got evicted from her house. I put up a tent there and I was living in the camp there, and they put an eviction notice on my tent. They just evicted us from our home and they're going to put an eviction notice on my tent. It's like, well, I can't stay in mine, I can't even stay in the tent now. And then I got moved on to another woods and then another woods. But where else am I meant to pitch up the tent? I went to outside the council and they weren't happy with me being there. So where am I meant to go?
Well, the local authority have got
yeah, but they don't. Yeah, but now they're saying that. But before they didn't. So for you to say that I've just thought I'll just take someone's land for the fun of it, that's not the situation at all.
I didn't say for the fun of it. I said that's what you've done, and that is what you've done. That's
I've claimed a bit of unused land to
it's
basically
it's woodland.
Well, it was unused because no one was there
It's
to.
being used by.
It wasn't being used at all.
Well,
It wasn't being used. You've not been there. You were there, and I coexist with the wildlife. I feed the wildlife. I have mouse that live inside my home, and I have birds. When I was building it, they fly in, and I have my food, and they even come in. So don't to say that is silly. I have muntjac and deer that nest right next to my cabin. They've hollowed out a bit. I see them most nights when I shine my torch. I see their eyes always peering back. So to say I disturb wildlife, I'm sorry, you don't know how. I'm the one not disturbing it. So you want to come in and develop warehouses on it. So I think for you to say I'm interfering with the wildlife, how dare you?
No, I'm saying.
How dare you? You hypocrite.
I'm not a hypocrite.
To say I'm interfering with the wildlife when you've got.
I'm saying
on the other side of the motorway, we don't even have street lights on in our urban areas. We've got bloody floodlights on and it's not even in use.
Oh,
it's diabolical.
It is.
You can see from one side of Ruffin to the other side with them lights.
So
you've got on that, and it's not even in use yet.
Don't say it's an unused or piece of land. It's a woodland.
Yeah.
So it's a woodland. You're in it with all of your materials, you are detracting from it being a woodland.
Okay, well, if you were to use logic and reason, which any respectable human of this species would supposedly use, if they lack it, but which ain't their fault, then fair enough. I can't hold that against them. But if they're just purposely,
Travis, what are we going to do?
All my materials that you're saying is detracting from the wildlife would have been dumped in some other area of wildlife. Might not have been in sight, but it would have been there still.
What are we going to do? What do you
and
want
I'll put
to
a use to it. Every bit I use is saved from being dumped in the ocean or incinerated.
What do you want to do? We need to do something.
I'd have some accommodation, yeah, but at the same time, I'm.
Shall I get the local authority to contact you and offer you the place, and you can go and see it?
So what's this then? So they're only willing to house me if I don't live in there?
I haven't got a clue.
So what? They're sort of like, is that how the council work? Is it
I haven't
sort
got a clue. I don't.
Like what they got?
I don't deal with housing.
Okay. Well, if they're willing to help me in my home situation, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and then we can help you move across.
Well, that's sort of a different matter then, isn't it? My housing situation with the council, they either want to help me or they don't. What's your interest in?
My interest is
they shouldn't be any deciding factor in whether the council want to help me or not based on whether your interest.
I've told you what.
I know, but that's sort of a bit corrupt there then.
No, I've told you what.
That's a bit corrupt. Well, if the council either want to help me or not.
Yeah, the council do want to help you.
Okay.
That's.
Well, okay, I'll do that.
She's on me up, but I don't have anything to do with the council. I don't know how they do it. I don't know. Well, I know why they do it, but it's up to them.
Obviously, you know why. I know you know why, but it's all right.
Yeah. So I'll get this lady to give you a call on your mobile number. You can go and see her, and we can perhaps organise for you to relocate. That would be the most...
Well, ultimately, I suppose I have no options because... Well, where am I going to be relocated to?
Well, let me get this lady...
I'm hoping the grave isn't an option.
Well, I hope so too.
I hope so. But I ruled it out. I don't know what you lot are like, do I?
In what ways are I?
Well, I don't know. If I watch you enough of your planes and your drones, didn't you? Is that not you?
With
your drones and your planes, is that not you?
Drones
flying out above me all day, every day.
Who is?
People in planes, and I've seen their drones, basically.
I know that we've had some drone photographs taken of the Suffolk Park quite a lot. And people on planes taking photographs, but they're not taking photographs, they're not interested in you.
I don't know, well, they do fly directly over my cabin all day, every day. But I do have mental health issues, and I'm extremely paranoid. But this system has led me to think that way because we all should be paranoid of the systems and what they do, People used to laugh at me when I'd say that, but now it's all come out that the police have been using drones for ages. So it's not such a ridiculous notion. People laughed at me for putting tape over my webcam on my laptop like a decade ago. I've been doing that for years.
Putting tape over
my webcam, but now it's common knowledge. You know, Edward Snowden brought that out. That the CIA, whoever it was, whatever agency, you know, were doing that. Edward Snowden leaked all that.
Doing what?
Spying on people through their webcams and stuff.
Do you know, if somebody spied on me, I think, crikey, what a boring life to spy on.
Do you know what I actually spray painted on the roof of my cabin? I put, am I really that interesting?
Yeah.
Just in case because if I thought that person flying over, I thought, cool, am I really that interesting all day, every day?
Duller than somebody following my life. We're not that interesting, aren't we?
Well, I don't know. I feel like you lot are. I don't know what you're doing.
No, not really.
I don't know. I've looked around your area. It's very shady, mate. That's what makes me more paranoid.
Shady?
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Well, I don't think we do anything shady. I think we do everything out in the open. So you.
But Animal Plant and Health Agency, I walked past that for months before, and then I thought every time I walked past it, I was like, what is that building?
Which one's this?
The one on the way, you go past the Tips yard.
Oh, well, top on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've wondered as well. Do you know what it is?
Oh, I looked it up and I've researched it, and a bit dark, mate.
It is a bit dark.
And they can seize like people's land. They can just take your vehicles, your animals. It's like very dark stuff. So you can see why I'm paranoid, because I went in there. They weren't happy about me going in. I was recording it. They didn't want me asking no questions though. You're scary entities, there's a lot of you. You're scaring the shit out of me. I ain't gonna lie.
Hang on, don't include me in your broad brush.
Well, no, but you're an advocate. You're devil's advocate. I don't know.
Yes, I am. Not necessarily the devil.
You know, but I'm not scared of the devil. I am, but I'm not.
Devil doesn't exist.
Well, in man it does. We all got good and bad in us.
Yes, but that's.
Basically, and look, whatever you're doing in that area of the woods, you know, home base. Why has it got the barbed wire on the inside on that massive fence?
Home base?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I thought barbed wire to keep people out.
Chavis.
So you don't own all that as well then?
Which one? Home base?
Just phase 2 or whatever it's called on the sign.
Of Suffolk Park?
No, this is the bit next to it. You got all your whole area. Just the more I look, the more it freaks me out, mate. It gives me the willies. And you say a lot of people would love to do what I do. I don't think they would. The thoughts I have, it's fucking scary for me in them woods. But I stick it out. So passionate I am about that place. So you need to realise how passionate.
It's cold, isn't it?
Huh?
It's cold, isn't it?
I've got a fireplace in there, but yeah, I stay in places where I've got some places that I can stay for the winter, but it's because it's not finished.
It's pretty gloomy in the winter. I was thinking about you when I first thought about it. I thought, crikey,
No, I love it.
In early January, when I thought it gets dark at about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it does.
And it gets light at about 8. I just thought, God, it's so miserable living in the woods in this time of the year. Lovely in the summer.
Well, no, because it is. Look, that's why let me sit through the winter, hoping I'd give up, did you? But now summer's come in, it's like, I suppose we better deal with it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It makes sense. The summer's come in. That's the time when it'll be nice to stay. We better start working.
I put the notice up and didn't hear from you. And therefore I assumed and I went back and I just assumed you'd abandoned the place. So I thought I'll give you 14 more days. And if you didn't hear from you, then I'll just arrange for somebody to come cut everything away and burn it.
But that's why I replied this time. But I'm not agreeing to anything. That's my house and that's my property, and whatever land I built it on, you know, just it's in my eyes under, you know, Magna Carta, and you know, being a free man of the land, which I'm trying to live my life by. You know, if there is such a thing, you know, if there ever was someone trying to do it, there ain't no guidebook handed to me, so I don't know what it is. You know, and every like, you know, thing about it has been purposely like hidden from us, you know, so I don't know, but this is as close to it as I can be, and you know, in my eyes, under the Magna Carta, I have right now there because it's my home.
I will.
The property around it, fair enough. Everything, but the actual property, the buildings, you know, they are homes. They're not a camp.
I've asked the lady,
That's a building, surely.
as we've agreed, I asked the lady at the council to call you.
I didn't agree to anything about my camp though, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I didn't. I said I'd speak to the social. Yeah.
Yeah, and see if we can relocate you. And we said that.
I said I'd see if they'd house me. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't say agree to anything else. I didn't use the word relocation.
I used the word relocation.
Well, I didn't.
I thought you agreed.
No, I'm not. No, I don't agree. This is. That's what I said to you. Either the council want to try and help me,
Yeah.
or they don't.
Well,
But that's nothing to do. I'm not. You and me in our discussion is a separate one, and it's nothing to do with that.
But
I'm at as a sort of, I'm not, you know, that's my home and that's where it's at. That's my property, and you know, if you do just remove it, you know, you need, you know, I'm putting you on notice. You need to give me, you know. You can't just destroy my property. Basically, you'd have to like replace it, or you know, basically like I'll be seeking redress. Basically,
I'll ask the lady at the council to contact you, and hopefully she can find.
Don't have permission to enter my home either. Basically,
I don't need your permission to go on to my client's land.
no, but then to come into my home, you do, though.
We don't accept that it's your home.
Well, that's just the system acting unlawfully again, then, isn't it?
Well,
Because
you may view it that way.
Well, no, because you. One second here, we're not saying, oh, it doesn't matter if it is your home, we can do it anyway. You're saying you're not accepting that it's my home. So that just confirms, that's confirmation for me that I do have right there as my property, it being my home, hence why you refrain from accepting it as my home. You don't even want to accept that as what it really is. So now you know you're lying to me and yourself. Because then that way it's easier to go about things, you know. And that's just the way of the system. But it's cool, you know. But I will end up just going, moving off and going into whatever probably. But that would be at my own decision, at my own discretion, you know. If I turn up one day and you've destroyed my property, then I'd want compensation for it, you know. But then I'd just have to move on, I guess. But you know, if you destroy anything of mine, you know, you'd have to replace it. That's my property, you know. That's
but
you don't have permission to destroy it or remove it or enter my home.
You have said that all the things that you've got there are things that are of no value to people.
No, I didn't say no value to me.
No value generally. You know, you got them from.
I got my photos of me and my daughter in there.
Mm-hmm.
I've got electronics, my solar panel. Don't know what happened to that. Someone stole my solar panel, my battery. Is that anything to do with you?
So that's gone. No, it's not anything.
Well, no, I had 2 solar panels and I've got 2 batteries, but I had one controller.
I noticed your solar panel wasn't connected to anything. It was out.
Well, not now. It's not. No, that's because someone had taken one of my solar panels, the controller, which they were both wired to, and the battery. Because that only one solar panel was bolted to the wooden frame, so that's why they've left that one. Obviously, they've just tried to be quick, I guess, and just took the rest of it.
Because there's somebody else living in the wood as well that I've just heard about.
Yeah. So you're not even dealing with him yet, then?
Not yet.
Well, he was made homeless, evicted from his home. I said he could set a camp. I wasn't really too happy about him being up there because I thought he was going to get me moved on.
You said he could stay there, did you?
I said he could, no, not on that bit. I said if he's got nowhere to go, me and my little home I've made up there, I let those homeless people come and stay up there with me, because I know what it's like to be homeless. It's not nice. I've been homeless a lot of times in my life, and I'd help anyone that's in that situation. And it's disgusting that there's someone with 250 acres or 250,000 acres, I don't know, but all the same to me, might as well be 250,000, mate, you know what I mean? He's not going to walk around it all, you know, and it's like, and yet he don't want to let one homeless person live on a tiny little patch of it, you know, but my tiny little patch, what I've managed to make a home of, I'd share it with everyone, and they'd all be taking the piss, stealing off me.
I think I said at the beginning of our conversation, you know, but life isn't always fair.
No, but I still share what I've got, and it's not, which is nothing. I still share, and basically, I said to him,
so
he can come up there,
nothing.
and he went and made up his own home.
If you're
basically,
sharing nothing, are you sharing anything then?
I'm sharing what little I have.
Oh, right, okay.
It's like tribespeople. If they catch one fish, they don't just eat the fish to themselves. They have one bite each. That's true. That's fact. Yeah, you don't see them going off like, I caught 10 fish and none of you caught. You only caught one. I'm the best.
Which fisherman is this? Sorry?
What's that? It's just people living in tribes. They share everything.
Oh, tribes.
Yeah, you Papua New Guinea. You got the Kumba and the Kuruwai.
Is that the one?
And they'll have one bite.
Well, they always have a chieftain.
What's that? Well, basically, they do have chiefs. Yeah.
Mainly the women.
They've been living under.
Mainly the women do the work and the men.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah, they do.
Doesn't sound very fair to me.
Well, that's just the way that they do things. This is what this system's fair. Oh my goodness, it's like you can't sit on that pedestal and like that just shows, but the reality of that is 1 second. I thought that's being a bit sexist, then, isn't it? Well, what? So you're saying that women can't be the dominant and powerful figure?
I spent a year travelling across Africa.
What is it? Is that a bad? Is it a bad thing that the woman is the more powerful out of the two? That says to me that really, men are dependent on the women.
Do you want to hear my story?
Oh, go on.
I spent a year travelling across Africa, sleeping in a tent every night. That was really interesting, staying with lots of people in mud huts and that sort of thing. Really interesting. And it didn't matter how poor people were, and they were poor. They had nothing. Really poor. Yet they still had hierarchy, and they still had people that didn't work, and they still had people that did all the work. And it just doesn't seem to matter.
Was this places where they had money, though?
They didn't have any money.
No, where they needed money.
Do you know?
I'm sorry, 1 second.
What I was going to say.
Where the tribes started leaving the old ways to where they needed money, and they suddenly in poverty, all of a sudden they all turned into crime. So that might be why. The fact that if they needed money to live, then I'm sorry, that's why. Not because of the natural order of things.
Some of the happiest people we saw there were the people that didn't seem to have anything.
Well, of course, this is the way.
So there we go.
Well, we're meant to be a first world country, but we're all depressed. We're all either on drugs, alcohol, antidepressants.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Or everyone has a drug, Some people's is fitness, some people's is being in a position of power. I don't know. Some people's is just seeing their wealth grow. I guess.
Yeah.
That's their addiction.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What is it, William Morris or whatever his name was said? Where it's like, what is it to all end a counting house upon a cinder heap?
William Morris. I don't know.
Well, basically, that's basically what everyone's racing.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah.
I'll get this lady to contact you, and we'll see where we go from there.
But I just want to leave you with this. What is the world we're building?
Who knows?
Well, I can look God in the eye and say...
There is no God.
Well, that's your opinion.
Well, I think...
okay, I can look myself in the eye when I die.
Okay, well that's...
And on my deathbed, I can go in peace, knowing I've done a lot of wrong, don't get me wrong, yeah, and I accept the wrongs I do, and I pay for them. I know that, yeah? No, 1 second, but my point is, I know I tried my hardest to live a way that was as much in balance as possible. I've done the best with what little knowledge I was handed to me in my so-called education, You've not really, the education that we've meant to have a right to. We've not really been educated on how to sustain this world, and they think they're going to live on Mars. They're deluded. Hold on 1 second. You got just hear me out on this one though, yeah?
Okay.
Right.
Are we going to Mars?
Say this isn't insanity. They think they're going to terraform that planet and make it habitable and all this, yeah. When they can't even maintain the atmosphere that we need here, yeah? They can't even maintain one. And they think they're going to change one with no ripple effects. They've not studied chaos theory or the butterfly effect. They have no understandings of the infinite, reactions upon reactions upon reactions, what any change they do up there could initiate. Hence why they're fucking things up here on Earth. Animal Plant Health Agency releasing all these bees and shit, what they've made genetically altered. That's all going to come back to sting them. Excuse the pun, but it will.
Good pun.
Yeah.
Right, come on. Thanks for coming in again. Don't
Don't rub me out, please.
As long as we do something, as long as you react.
Well, look, I'll tell you straight, this is where it's at. I probably will move to wherever they're going to give me, but at the same time, I'm going to be wanting to chill in the woods for as long as I can. And any more property, you know, I wouldn't want it to be destroyed. I'd want it replaced or compensated, you know.
We're going to just have this decorated. Take your time on the strip. That's it.
I've only just built my home, but you know.
Look at that. I know this.
Yeah. I know, sorry.
Poor
Sorry if I have no.
Poor old Walter.
Sorry if my heart doesn't beat. What about my sweat and hard work? This is nothing. You don't know the half.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This isn't the fraction of what I normally fish around. Massive long bits of wood pallets all strapped to it all day.
You put a lot of hard work in.
I spend more time pushing things around than I do building. So I don't think people would do it. When the petrol runs out, you're all going to be telling people like me to move things around.
Yeah.
I don't even have fucking do.
Just there you go. Right.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well,
I'll get this lady to contact you.
alright. You've got my number, haven't you?
Sorry?
You've got my number, haven't you?
Yes, thank you.
Alright, well, look after yourselves, try and look after the planet, stop developing too much.
I'll do my best.
Alright, okay, I feel a lot safer.